ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Voices of Change, where we delve into the minds and motivations of those pushing the boundaries of societal norms. Today is March 2nd, 1913, and on our show we have a remarkable guest, a passionate advocate for women's suffrage. Our guest has been a prominent voice in the fight for equal rights for women, especially in the realm of voting. Please welcome me in joining Inez Millihan to our show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Let's start by exploring your convictions regarding women's suffrage. In your opinion, why is the right to vote so crucial for women?
The right to vote is fundamental to democracy, yet it has been denied to half of the population based solely on gender. Women, just like men, are citizens of this country. They contribute to society, pay taxes, and should have a say in how their country is governed. Without the ability to vote, women's voices are silenced, and their interests are overlooked in the decision-making process.
Absolutely. The struggle for women's suffrage has been ongoing for quite some time. Could you elaborate on the challenges that you and other suffragists have faced in advocating for this right?
The opposition to women's suffrage has been deeply entrenched. Many individuals, both men and unfortunately some women too, believe that women are not capable or educated enough to participate in politics. Our efforts have been met with resistance, ridicule, and even violence. From being arrested for peacefully protesting to enduring harsh criticism in the media, we faced numerous obstacles in our quest for equality.
It's disheartening to hear about the challenges you've had to confront. How did you and your other suffragists counter these obstacles?
Our movement has been fueled by determination and unity. We've organized rallies, marches, and petitions to showcase our demand for suffrage. We engage in civil disobedience even when faced with arrest and imprisonment. Tomorrow we will have another gathering where we will have our own over 20 floats, which will display a banner with a slogan stating the following: "We demand an amendment to the Constitution of the United States, enfranchising the women of this country."
Wow, your dedication and resilience are truly inspiring. As we're in 1913, what significant milestones or achievements have marked the suffrage movement thus far, and who have been some of your influence or contributors?
Well, our movement has seen significant progress. In July 1848, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott organized the first women's rights convention in Seneca Falls, New York, which developed the Declaration of Sentiments, which called for broader educational and professional opportunities for women and the right of married women to control their wages and property. After this historic gathering, women's voting rights became a central issue in the emerging debate about women's rights in the United States. Additionally, the National Women's Suffrage Association was formed by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony in May of 1869. They sent voting rights petition to the Senate and the House of Representatives requesting that suffrage rights be extended to women and that women want to be granted the privilege of being heard on the floor of Congress. The second national suffrage organization, established in 1869, was the American Women's Suffrage Association, founded by Lucy Stone, Julia Wardhowe, and Thomas Wentworth Higginson. The AWSA concentrated on gaining women's access to the polls at state and local levels in the belief that victories there would gradually build support for national action on this issue. While a federal women's suffrage amendment was not their priority, an 1871 petition asking that women in D.C. and the territories be allowed to vote and hold office from AWSA leadership to Congress reveals its support for one. In 1890, the NWSA and the AWSA merged together into the National American Women's Suffrage Association. It became the largest women's suffrage organization in the country and led much of the struggle for the vote. This work, along with the work of many others, has also led to several states having granted women the right to vote in local and state elections, albeit with limitations. The first state to grant women the right to vote has been Wyoming in 1869, followed by Utah in 1870, Colorado in 1893, Idaho in 1896, Washington in 1910, California in 1911, Oregon and Arizona in 1912. I am hopefully for this to take over the whole country.
Your optimism is admirable. Looking ahead, what do you envision for the future of the suffrage movement?
I envision a future where women are equal participants in the shaping of policies that affect their lives. I foresee a day when every woman in this country has a right to cast her vote without prejudice or discrimination. Our struggle will continue until the day arrives, and I'm confident that the growing momentum and support of our cause, we will achieve success.
Your passion and commitment to this cause are truly commendable. Before we conclude, is there any message you'd like to share with our listeners?
I urge everyone, regardless of gender, to join us in the fight for equality. It's not just about women's rights, it's about justice and democracy for all. Let's work together to create a society where every voice is heard and every individual has the opportunity to participate fully in our democratic process. I also want to thank my husband Eugene, who I proposed to when we met on a ship, and has helped me with my cause, as well as my sister Vita, who helps me on my tours. She documented the events for our tours, and I hope that the readers in the future hear of my work with the labor unions, the difficulties I faced in earning a law degree, and that we never forget my beautiful horse, Grey Dawn, who I will ride into our parade tomorrow.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. It's been an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. The pleasure was mine.
That concludes our episode of Voices of Change. Join us next time as we continue to explore the stories of those striving for a more just and equitable world. Thank you for listening.